What makes the church yard? The church yard is a zombie yard. It's where people are being zombified. So the whole process of Sunday and churches and congregation is zombification of the Africans. You understand? See,
Welcome back on the channel. Today we're back again with the master and the student. Let's go.
life it's a book of the dead. Life it's a book that we write based on the experiences of the dead. People will tell you about Pythagoras, Aristotle, they're dead men. People will tell you about Adam until to Jesus, they are dead men. People will tell you about their saints, their holy men, their philosophers, they're dead men. Everything that we're doing here is based on the works of those who are dead. Now that is in English. But if we are going to approach it in our language, what we call serona sa rona ka rona. Nkutlwa ke re? Ka Setswana ke serona sa rona ka rona, wa bo? Which is what they call indigenous knowledge system, IKS. Now, if we are going to approach it ka serona, arena lefu, the word death entered the Zulu vocabulary, the African vocabulary late. We had haona motho o shwele, motho wa tlhokafala. So bar o tlhokafetse bana o tlhokiwa ke badimo, o tlhokilwe ke badimo. So ha sa leo ka mona o ka nkane ha le bitla. It's on the other side of
Everything we
the
are doing is based on the works of a dead man. Everything, guys. Can you imagine?
Asinguni batlare, why are we performing the rituals of the ancestors, but we are not performing the rituals of umenzi, of unkulunkulu, kahle kahle, which is the corruption of kulukulwane. This Mr. Callaway, a missionary who was doing Christian missionary work among the Zulus, when he asked the Zulus, who is your first ancestor? They say it's kulukulwane. But because he can't pronounce the word kulukulwane, he say unkulunkulu. So unkulunkulu is a corruption of kulukulwane. Now kulukulwane is the first man. The Jews will have Adam as their first man. Basotho will have Mopedi as the first man. And so forth. But Pedi re tla bolela ka Kgobyane. Ke morwa wa Kgobe. Then the Sechaba, the people will say ke batho ba Kgobe. Because Kgobe is God, ka Sepedi. Modimo ke Setswana. But when the Bible was translated into Setswana, and then they went around and preaching, they also moved with this word Modimo. Wa bona ne? So but Bapedi ba Kgobe. So that is why Sechaba se tsibuwa as batho ba Kgobe. A woman who's pregnant ke motho wa Kgobe. Motho wa o loka, a very kind person, hey, wa tseba aya leo ke motho wa Kgobe. You understand? So now Kgobyane will be the first man. My point here is that everyone have their first man or their first ancestors or their first ancestor who is responsible for teaching us about the rituals of death, the rituals of life, how we communicate.
We don't even have a name for that.
The mistake that the missionaries, the Christian missionaries made also is this thing that when we talk like this, they will be saying we are worshipping the dead. Now, there is no African word for ancestor worship. Now, we're saying if you can't name it, you can't claim it. So if you don't have a word for it, what is it doesn't exist. What is polytheism? We don't have polytheism. We don't have that. We don't have animism. We don't have pantheism. We don't have deities and divinities and demons or monotheism for that particular matter. So therefore, what we are dealing with now, we are dealing with a situation where we are caught up in a situation where we are using European concepts to define African phenomena. We are saying Mudimu is God, as if Mudimu has an English name, like most Africans who were colonized under apartheid, that you have to be Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. Your name is Rolihlahla, but you must have an English name, which is basically a Christian name, which is basically a colonial name. Because colonialism, when it was...
I'm sure many of us have a colonial name here.
brought to us, it came with triple C, that they're coming to colonize, Christianize, and commercialize. Remember those who claim to have discovered us, the Jan van Riebeck, when he came here with the dromedaries, the Goede Hoop and the Reichert. It was a company it was a Dutch East India Company. So they were on a commercial mission here. So they discovered us by fault because they were looking for a refreshment station on their way to India. So we become a project of colonization, Christianization, and commercialization because we were sold as slaves, as human cargoes. So at one time we were commodities to be sold. We were converted. Now you see the process of conversion in our African mysticism or in our witchcraft or kabulo ibaronano. It is what we will call the zombification. So they replace your soul with the soul of the other. So they've replaced your African soul with the foreign soul in the name of Judeo-Christianity. Now we are zombies. So we are zombies and demons of colonialism. So we are zombies of other religions. So we are not true to our culture. We are not true to our nature because our culture, it is a reflection of our nature. Ka Sepedi re re ke tlhago ya gage. Tlhago ke nature. Imbo yakhe. Wa e bona ke re, that is his nature. Now you have changed his nature for the nature of the other. So therefore you have effectively made that person a zombie. So what makes the church yard? The church yard is a zombie yard. Is where people are being zombified. So the whole process of Sunday and churches and congregation is zombification of the African.
Yes, that was Abba Amlak and Thau Thau Haramanuba. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one.